Hi you guys, Jessie Lucas here, as you probably know. So I thought I would make this little bonus core video for you guys. A little funny story here. I practiced and taught yoga a long time before Pilates came into my life. And for a long time I thought, I do yoga, I don't need to do Pilates. So finally, after it's tried to enter my life a whole bunch of times and I tried to turn it away, I was like, all right, let's see what this is all about. And I immediately fell in love with it. And all of a sudden, all my yoga poses totally changed. Not only did my yoga poses change, all of the movement in my life changed. The way I stood to do the dishes, the way I carried my kids around. And I'll tell you what, getting your core in line is super helpful. So here's a little bonus core sequence for you. Kind of derived from my love affair with Pilates. So I'll have you come onto your back. And you want some bit of cush underneath of you. For a more active yoga practice, I like a thinner mat. For Pilates, since we're on our spine, you might want a little bit of extra, so that might mean a folded blanket or towel, a few extra layers there. So coming onto your back, with your knees bent, your feet on the floor, feet and knees are hip distance apart. Take a moment and pay attention to your lumbar spine. So depending on your structure, there may or may not be space. For the spine with normal curves, there's going to be a bit of a curve away from the ground at the lumbar spine. So that's what we're going to be playing with right here. So first take a moment, kind of tune in. You can close your eyes for a moment, take a few breaths. And see if you can just kind of relax into the space of your body, kind of unwind, unleash any kind of tension, gripping, holding, anything you need to do to let that go. And you can keep your arms down by your sides. I'm going to move mine just so we can see what's going on. So on your next inhale, you're going to expand your belly really, really big, like a balloon. And on your exhale, you're going to press your belly button down and sink your low back into the ground. And then on your inhale, you're going to expand your belly. You're going to recreate that lumbar space. And on your exhale, you're going to again sink your belly button down and press that low back down so there's no space there. There's connection. So let's do that a few times. Inhale, big belly breath. You create that lumbar space. Exhale, belly button down. Low back down. You're smushing the low back onto the ground. So a few more like that. Inhale, fill up, big belly breath. Exhale, imprint. Belly button down, low back down. Again, inhale, fill up. Exhale, belly button down, low back down. So let's hold that there. So don't hold your breath, just hold the belly button down and the low back down. So take a moment and kind of explore what's going on. So I don't want you squishing the muscles. I don't want you like crunching and holding. It's almost more of a scooping, a lifting, like you were trying to push your organs up under your rib cage. So yes, there's that dropping down of the belly button, but there's not a squishing or bearing down. The belly button is dropping and there's a scooping and a lifting. Now, it took me a long time to kind of connect that, to really get it. So if it doesn't make sense to you, that's fine. And as I'm talking, you're holding that and you're breathing. If it doesn't make sense to you yet, the more you practice tuning into that, the more you practice refining the activity of those muscles, the more it will make sense to you over time and likely click into place if it hasn't already. Alright, so from here, we're going to go up and down and shoulder bridge. So you're going to keep the belly scooping, you're going to keep the low back nice and tall, you're going to inhale where you are, keep the legs steady, exhale, press into the feet, lift the hips up. Inhale slowly, all of this is slow and controlled. Roll the hips down. You're going to land with the belly button scooped and the low back down without undoing that. Exhale, press the hips right on up, little by little by little by little. And inhale, slowly roll the hips down, little by little by little by little. Keeping the belly toned. We're going to do that one more time. On the exhale, pressing up. And on the inhale, rolling down. I'm turning my head to look at you. You're going to want to keep your head straight so you're not tweaking out your neck. All right, when you are all the way down, you can release the belly activity. You can bring your knees into your chest. You can rock and roll front to back or side to side, whatever feels good there. All right, so from there, we're going to, again, recreate that stability through the pelvis. So that's really what we're doing down here, is creating pelvic stability. Scooping the belly muscles in, pressing the low back to the ground. Then you're going to take your hands to one knee. The other leg can go up. And then what you want to do is watch here what happens to the low back. Start to lower the leg little by little until you get as far down as you can without letting the low back come up off the ground. So you want to keep the low back smushed down and let the leg go as long and low as you can without letting the low back come up. You have options here. Head, neck, and shoulders can be down or curled up. So belly button down, low back down. Here's your inhale, or here. Exhale, switch legs. Inhale, switch them again. Exhale, switch them again. So as you continue here, your main priority is that the bones of the pelvis do not move. So if they're moving, you want to reach up instead of out. If your head was up, you can put it down. So you want to find a place where you can move with your breath. Inhale one leg, exhale the other. So the bones of the pelvis are not moving. You're keeping that scooping, and there's some challenge to that. So let's do just a couple more times here. Again, very slow and controlled. When you go slowly, you recruit more of the finer muscle fibers that kind of aren't the first ones to jump in on the job. And you get a more thorough, complex, deeper movement. And those are the muscle fibers we want to train here. All right, bring it on in. Lower on down, soften your belly. Rock and roll if that feels good. All right, the next thing, we're going to bring the arms out to the sides. And you're going to drop the shoulder blades, almost scoot them under your back there. So then from there, again, scoop the belly button down, press the low back onto the ground, and then you're going to bring your knees over your hips and your feet out from the knees. So as close as you can, right angles there. Shoulders are glued down, belly scooping in. Inhale, you're going to tilt the knees and the pelvis one way. Exhale, back through center. You should feel that low back press down. Inhale, tilt the knees and the pelvis the other way. Both shoulders are staying on the ground. Exhale, back through center. Inhale, tilt to the first side. Shoulders down, belly scooped in. Exhale through center. Inhale, tilt to the second side. Exhale through center. Let's go one more time each side. It doesn't take a lot when you're practicing very specifically. And back to center. Let's stretch out long this time. Both legs out, both arms reach up. Big long stretch. Feet to fingertips. And good. So now we're going to bring the feet over the hips. Your arms can go out to the sides or down by your sides. I'm going to go out to the sides so you can see what's going on with the hips. You're going to scoop the belly in and lift the hips up and put them down. Lift the hips up and put them down. So this targets the deeper, the lower abdominal muscles. So what you don't want it to look like is swinging, right? It's not about moving the legs. Not about moving the legs at all. Sinking the belly button down, hips up, hips down, and as much as you can without pushing into the floor. There may be some upper body work to stabilize. It's a very small, slow, controlled movement. Not momentum, not swinging. Make sure you're breathing. Make sure you're pulling the belly in and not pushing out. And good. Bring the knees back in. Soften the belly. Take a few breaths. I'm going to go one more time with the feet up towards the sky. So legs up and actively reaching. So you don't want the legs just hanging out. If they're really, really reaching the legs tall. So there might even be some tone to the leg muscles as you reach them long. Scooping the belly in. Then you're going to reach your fingers up towards your toes, and now we're going to work on the upper fibers of the abdominal muscles. And without moving the legs as best you can, you're going to curl your upper back up and put it down. Like you're trying to reach your fingers to your toes, but you're not using your arms. You're not using the strain from your shoulders. In fact, you can do this with your arms down if it feels more straining to your shoulders, or even hands sliding on the ground. So those are some arm options there. So you're using the deep core muscles to stabilize the legs. You're using the superficial and upper abdominal muscles to perform the movement. You could even support your neck with your hand if your neck is feeling strained. Breathing with your movement. Let's go one more time here. And good. Come on down. Let's stretch it out long again. And rolling over onto your belly. Come on up in your elbows and stretch out there. So shoulders go back, toes go back. All of that was just contracting through your abdominals, lengthening back out. Good. I'm going to do some back extensions because core is front and back of the body. So tailbone back towards your feet, scooping your belly in and up. Arms can be by your sides, palms down. You're going to turn your head forward, inhale. And on your exhale, lift your legs, your chest, your arms, look forward. Inhale, come on down. Exhale, extend long, lift, low back stays nice and tall. Inhale, come on down. Nice and slow and controlled. Exhale, extend long and lift. Heart forward, shoulders back. Inhale, come on down. Let's go 2 more times. Exhale and lift. Inhale, slowly down. Exhale and lift. Inhale, down. And bring your hands under your chin or your head, bend your knees, rock your feet side to side. Alrighty. Send your feet back again. Bring your hands up under your shoulders and press up into table. So if this is pressure on your knees, you can put an extra blanket or towel, not too much height, but some cushion under your knees. Quadruped or scales pose or a balancing kneeling pose. Scoop your belly up. So what you want to do is take any sway out of the low back, scoop your belly up. So you're doing that same pelvic stability right here. Shoulders go back. So you're really stabilizing the shoulder girdle as well. So then you're pulling the tailbone towards the back wall, the top of the head towards the front wall. You're going to inhale here on all fours. Exhale, your right leg and left arm reach long. Inhale, put it down. Exhale, left leg and right arm reach long. And inhale, put it down. So have you go side to side, exhale, lift, keeping the belly up, the low back tall. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, lift. So you're looking for torso stability here. Inhale, put it down. So hips to shoulders, super stable. Exhale, switch and lift. Inhale, put it down. Exhale, last one, switch and lift. And down you go. Let's come into a downward dog. Curl the toes under, hips up and back. Just stretch it out for a moment. You can wiggle your down dog. Shake out your head. Lengthen out that back body. Good. And you can either come back through table here or just walk it straight into a plank pose. So plank can be hands and feet or hands and knees. Shoulders back, belly scooped in. Broad through the collarbones, lengthening your whole body here. And take just a couple breaths. And come on down to your knees. You can roll out some cats and dogs to release your spine. And we're just going to come one more time into plank. Alright, scooping the belly in, shoulders back. Hands and knees plank or hands and feet plank. Lengthening and breathing there. Holding stable there. And good, come on down. Again, release, roll out some cats and dogs, wiggle around. Maybe you want to circle out your arms, your shoulders. So there you have it. A sweet little core sequence, does not take a long time. It's all about the potency, the specificity. So the more that you go back and repeat this, and it can be repeated daily, you don't have to wait days in between, the more you can really focus into the details, the how are you accomplishing that movement, what has to stabilize, what's doing the movement, where is tension being held somewhere that can be let go, right? It's all about efficiency in the body. You don't need the whole body tense and working to do one little movement. So you're looking for just what needs to work to stabilize, just what needs to work to move, and then where you can release and let that energy just flow. Use your breath, use your awareness, and strengthen your core. Enjoy!